Hello, and welcome to the Designing with Love podcast. I am your host, Jackie Pellegrin, where my goal is to bring you information, tips, and tricks as an instructional designer. Hello, instructional designers and educators. Welcome to episode 132 of the Designing with Love podcast. I'm thrilled to have Vikram Chalana with me today. Vikram is the co-founder of Pictory, an AI video platform built to make video creation and content repurposing accessible to everyone. And I love that. Over the past 5 years, he has helped grow Pictory with a clear focus on removing the complexity from video production so creators, educators, and businesses can turn ideas into videos faster. Welcome to the show, Vikram.
Thank you, Jackie. It's great being here. Thank you for the invite.
Anytime. Yes, I'm so glad. I always like to give a little shout out to Podmatch because it's a great way to connect hosts with guests like yourself. So I'm always grateful for that opportunity.
Amazing.
Yes. So to start our interview, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and share what inspired you to create Pictory for creators, educators, and businesses, as I mentioned in the opening?
Yeah. So a little bit about myself. I'm in Seattle. I married, have 2 grown kids. One of my kids is an educator herself. She's a K through 12 teacher, middle school history teacher. And my wife is a teacher as well. So it's just I'm surrounded by educators everywhere. And, but my own background is an engineer turned entrepreneur.
Wow.
And I worked for a few companies in Seattle. And then for the last 20 some years, I've been building startups and growing them and scaling them and turning around and starting another one. So this is I'm on my 3rd journey here with Pictory. It really evolved from a problem that I saw at my last company that I was building. We had 300 people in the company, and we had one person who could make videos. But we saw so much need for video. Every department was asking for videos. Engineering was asking for training videos. Marketing was asking for videos. Training teams were asking for videos for customers. HR was asking for videos. So there's a lot of demand and not enough people who could create videos, because the learning curve for some of those tools like Adobe Premiere and so on is so steep.
Right.
And I tried myself. Like I was the CTO and I was trying to create some blog pages, some thought leadership material. And I struggled with video. It was great to create text. It was easy to create text type stuff, but it's really hard to create videos. And I tried to pick up some of those tools like Premiere and Camtasia and stuff. And I really struggled. Like as soon as I saw the timeline, I got lost. Timeline editor just completely flipped me out. And I'm like, why can't this be easier? Why can't it be more like a PowerPoint like experience? And then why can't more people do it? Why do we have to just always rely on this one person, right? So we saw like, so it was a personal challenge that I was trying to solve. And then we saw what Canva was doing around making the design process really easy with, beautiful tools, templates and so on. And then we also we started this in 2019, 2020, and AI was just starting to come out, and we saw what AI was potentially capable of. And we said, okay, let's kind of marry what Canva was doing and what AI is capable of, and create something that everybody needs right now, which is video, and help that process along. And so got together with my founders. We all kind of resonated on the problem, and we all had faced it before, 3 of us. And so we said, okay, let's try to build something around here. And so literally it was for business people like us that we were creating it for. But my wife, as I told you, is an educator. My daughter was just in her degree program then. And they also got pretty excited when I showed them what we were building. And so So that was another like, okay, this has legs, not just in business, but also in education. And so that's what we've been building and doing for the last 6 years or so.
Wow, that's exciting. I love that, Vikram, because, as you were talking through that, it just reminded me of the job I do every day, which is to look and see where's there a gap, or where's there a need? And then you do a needs assessment and you see where can we solve that problem or that issue, and how can we make things better for people, right? Help make learning better for them. And so that's great. You didn't know it, but you were doing instructional design along the way.
That's what entrepreneurs do. That's what instructional designers do. I see a lot of similarities. That's great.
Right. Exactly. I love that. So thank you for sharing that, because that's wonderful to hear kind of how you got to where you are. And this wasn't your first, as they say, rodeo, right? You've done it before. You've been there and you've done it now 3 times. So I'm sure you learned through each avenue of entrepreneurship, you learn lessons along the way, like we all do, right? Every place we work, we learn something and we take it with us, right? So I'm sure in this experience, you learned from those past ones and said, okay, here's how we're going to make it the best it can be as well.
And mistakes to avoid.
Yes. Right. Exactly. Yep. Those lessons learned. Absolutely. Yes. I also like how Pictory's promise on the website is video without the headache. I love that, because what do we want to do? We want to get rid of the headaches for people. So from a leadership standpoint, what decisions did you make to keep the product focused and simple, especially while AI capabilities keep expanding, as you were talking about? I mean, it's just almost on a weekly basis, it seems.
Yeah. This is a really good question. And any business or any course that as instructional designers you create, you always are making design choices up front. Like, okay, this, and by design choices, you're also defining, who are you building it for very clearly. And so it's not for everyone, it's for this persona, and you kind of think through that. You're also saying no to a lot of things while incorporating. So it's really, those design choices are really important. And so that's why I really like this question, Jackie. The 3 design choices that we made is in the very beginning were, as I told you, I really got messed up with the timeline editor. Mm-hmm. I'm like, there shouldn't be a timeline editor. It should be simple like PowerPoint. So that's been one of our design principles. We need to keep it simple like PowerPoint and easy. So when you go, even if you today go into our platform, Pictory.ai, sign up, you'll see it's such an easy experience. It's such a smooth, simple experience. So that was one. The second one was, I call it the blank screen problem or the white page problem, where you come into a program and there's nothing there and you're completely lost. Like, what am I going to do with it? Right. You open Word, by default, it's a scratch pad, and you have to kind of start thinking about, okay, what am I writing and stuff. So the choice we made was we want to allow people to repurpose content that they have, whether it's slide decks that you have, whether it's published articles, blogs, whether it's just ideas that they have. We even suggest the ideas to you now. So you never find yourself in a blank slate. You always have something to start with.
I like that. That's great.
Yeah, so that was another kind of design choice that we make. It's the idea of repurposing content that you already have. And the third design choice was more around technology, and I'm kind of glad we made that, because we decided, hey, we don't have the chops to build AI models, and we're not going to do AI models, but we're going to find the best of the breed, the state of the art models, and we're always going to incorporate the best in our product. So that was another, like, it's a design choice that you make, that, hey, I don't want to be in the business of training Claude-like models or ChatGPT-like models, but I want to use them as much as I can. So what you'll see in our product right now is a lot of models integrated nicely, but you don't even know as a user like what it's using. So we use OpenAI for many things. We use Google Nano Banana for some image generation. We use VO. We use 11 Labs for voiceovers. So we just take the best in the industry and we've integrated it into the product and given the users a very easy experience, and then they can repurpose the content from there.
Wow. I really like that. I like how you picked the best of every part, right? And melded it together. So you create the best of all the worlds, right? Instead of just picking one and picking a one lane and saying, oh, we're just going to go with ChatGPT models and then that's it. And not figuring out that there's other great tools out there that have things that they're really good at, right? That you can utilize. Yeah, exactly. That's great. Yeah.
Like 11 Labs has amazing voiceovers. They're very good. So it's like, okay, let's pick those. While ChatGPT has an amazing text model, let's pick that kind of thing.
Right, exactly. So you're taking what it is you need and you're extracting the best and incorporating it. I like that. Yeah, that's great. Thank you for sharing that, because I think that's so important for listeners to hear that you went through that process early on. And as you were thinking about the user experience, how can we make it the best it can be and make it as seamless as possible, right? So the user doesn't have to really think hard about that and get a headache, right? You know, they can do it in a way that feels natural to them. Hello, I have some exciting news to share with all of my listeners. There is a feature called Fan Mail. What this allows you to do is send me a text message anytime during the episode. There's a link located at the top of the description in each episode, and it says Send Jackie a Text Message. So when you click on that link, you'll be able to send me a message letting me know what you thought about the episode and if you have any ideas for future episode content as well. I look forward to seeing your text messages. Thank you.
Yeah, and as I see, like our users who might be instructional designers, many of our customers are instructional designers. They don't have time to evaluate models or evaluate all the AI tools that are available or what's the best voice tool. And so kind of we took it on ourselves to distill that, to do the work of evaluation. So we picked the best.
Right, exactly. So you're saving them that time and energy that they would normally be doing all the research and testing things out. And you've already taken all of that part and just, made it so that they could just dive right in and create the content, or like you said, repurpose it if they want to do that. Right. So you're taking out that early part that can take so much time and energy. I know I've been there and I've done that for sure. It's like, there's so much out there. It's like, how do you know what's good? And then you end up with all these accounts and subscriptions, and then you forget you have them. And it's a challenge for sure. Yeah. Yes. So I wanted to also make this practical for, as we were talking about, with educators and also training teams and corporations. So Vikram, can you walk us through 2 to 3 concrete workflows where Pictory shines for learning content, such as turning a script, an article, like you mentioned, or a URL into a training video? And what would you recommend as best practices for keeping the learning objective front and center during that process?
Yes. So the 2 or 3 workflows that we have that really resonate with instructional designers, because I know as instructional designers, most people deal with PowerPoints a lot.
Right.
So we've built one workflow that will turn a PowerPoint to a video automatically. So what you do is you upload the PowerPoint. If it has slide notes, you can make the slide notes as your narration, or the AI will automatically create the narration just looking at the slides. And then it will add the voiceover. You can add an avatar, if you want. And you can basically, in minutes, you can have a PowerPoint converted to a video, and ready to go. So you don't have to make anything else. And then we have another product that will let you add quizzes automatically into that video. So say it's a 5-minute video, you wanna have at least a quiz every couple of minutes, every 2 minutes. So it will automatically insert the quizzes, and while the video is playing, it'll pause the video, it'll force you to do that knowledge check, and then move on. So
wow.
So that workflow works really well, and it's I feel it's really powerful for educators, but also for corporate training teams.
Right. I love that. That's great.
And the second one is you can just start either with a script that you've created, or with just an idea, a prompt, and say, hey, give me a video about this or from this. So sometimes you might use it for introduction to a course. Sometimes you might use it as a module itself. But basically, what it does is it then matches really nice visuals to that script. We have a huge library. We license content from Getty and Shutterstock and stuff. And so it automatically matches video clips to to different parts of the script, adds the voiceover, adds the video clips, adds music if you want. You can add an avatar if you want, and it converts that to a video. So starting from either just a prompt, an idea like make a 1-minute video about American history. I don't know. And then it'll create that video, and it'll have very, very relevant visuals, and in a few minutes you have that video ready.
Wow, that's amazing. Wow, love it.
So that's the second workflow, and another really good workflow is URL to video. Now this, I think the use case there might be if you have knowledge-based articles or other things that you've published already on a website, even if it's internal, like maybe a Canvas page that has material in there. You can basically turn that page into a video, where it first summarizes that into a video script. And then if it has images on the page, it'll pick up the images, or it'll use stock imagery that we have, and again, put the story together in the form of a summary video.
Wow.
So
that's great. I could see that being really useful for blogs and things like that, where you could turn it into another type of media and promote it. Right.
Yep, exactly. And I mean, that's like, we're not talking about marketing, but that's a very common marketing use case, where they want to create YouTube as a channel, because YouTube is like a big search engine, second biggest search engine, and you get found. And then one other workflow that we have that is super useful for educators is, long videos like this podcast recording.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You may want to create multiple micro-learning units from that one long video. And we can automatically slice it for you, find the right places, and create short units like 1 or 2 minutes long each, or whatever you designate,
right.
and create several videos from one long video.
Oh, that's great. I love that, because that's one of the trends in higher education, and I think probably even workplace training too, is microlearning, being able to chunk it out, right, and make it more accessible, because our attention spans are getting shorter and shorter, right? So people don't want to listen or watch a hours long video. It's hard. Yeah.
And I mean, some of the best, like you asked for some of the best practices, that was going to be my biggest recommendation, is keep it short.
Right.
So, like 2 to 3 minute long. And I think that's well known now in instructional design, to keep videos about that long. add captions, add voiceover, you know, add avatars because they keep the engagement high, add quizzes, knowledge checks along the way. So those are some of the things that we've kind of built in our product.
Wow, that's really great. I like that. So the quizzes, it sounds like they can do like multiple choice, true, false, maybe drag and drop, things like that. So there's different types of knowledge checks that they can do.
Yes.
Yeah. That's really great. I love that. And it'll find the place where it's the best fit for it. And
it automatically.
Yeah,
exactly. It automatically inserts the quizzes. It uses AI to figure out the content and then says, here's a couple of questions that I want to ask at this point.
Wow, that's great. And with the avatars and the voiceover, is there a way to create maybe an avatar based on someone's likeness? Like, for example, if I wanted to be able to show that that the AI can clone me kind of in a way, is there a way to do that as well with Pictory?
So it's coming next month. So we're working on it. Yeah. So right now it's a bunch of standard avatars. But next month we'll be able to clone your voice as well as your face. Wow,
that's great. I think that would be great for training videos where you want to have, like you said, that avatar. And because there was a student I had in one of my classes, actually a couple of my classes, and she works for the same organization, just a different division. And she said, it's great when we can use the faculty subject matter experts and we can take 5 minutes of their video. Well, it's like basically a video, but she just has them record themselves for 5 minutes on video and has them read a script. And then she's able to go in and actually clone it. So I'm like, wow, that's amazing. And then she doesn't have to keep going to her and saying, hey, can you do this and that? And we have to redo this. And so it definitely saves a lot of time.
Exactly. That's kind of the vision. And I had faculty members in mind when we were building this because they're kind of super busy, and then they're coming to the instructional designers. So with the PowerPoint workflow that I talked about, that's exactly kind of what they'll create the material as PowerPoint, send it to the instructional designer, and they can add their avatar and just have the video ready to go, or they can do it themselves.
Right. Vikram, I can see this really being great for instructors like me who teach online classes, and we want to be able to go beyond the given curriculum because we have at GCU, it's a curriculum that is now the ground instructors, they have a little bit more flexibility in how they can teach the content, and the assignments are there. What we do is we build it for all the different modalities, for online, on ground, and things like that. But for online, they don't have that ability to switch things around, right? It's more not really prescribed, but I guess it kind of is. It's more of a centralized curriculum. But the online faculty are always encouraged to be able to add their own personality to it, right? And give the students that experience. So since adaptive learning is also a big thing in higher education, I can see that being really helpful for those instructors to, instead of doing text announcements, maybe I can go to video announcements and then personalize them for each class instead of feeling like it has to be canned for each class, right?
Yeah, and that's a really good use case. I'll tell you one story because I talked to a teacher and I was blown away by that. She's not an online instructor; she's a middle school teacher, and she was saying she uses these videos. She'll turn her PowerPoint material into videos, adds a male voice, a voiceover, not her voiceover, a male voiceover, and plays the video in class. And the kids seem to have better engagement and retention because it's a male voice.
Wow. That's interesting.
I was blown away. I'm like, is that real? But she says, yes, that works because many of the kids didn't have like male role models around them. She was in an inner city school.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. And so they tended to gravitate towards that male voice rather than a female voice. Wow. Wouldn't have even thought of that, but I can see where that makes sense now.
Yeah.
Wow. That's interesting. So she learned what her students gravitated towards and then she adjusted it to that. Wow.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow. That's really neat. Wow. That's cool because I have videos for all the different assignments in the classes and that I teach. And then when they revised the program in all the classes, I had to redo every single video assignment. I ended up using Canva, and then I did the present record. But it was a lot of work having to do that because these classes are 6 weeks long. So that's 6 assignments, and I teach 7 classes. So that's a lot. And then, if you mess up the script, I'd have to pause it, go back, redo it again. So it was never right the first time, hardly ever. I mean, once in a while I would get it right the first take, but more often than not.
Is it always you're sharing a PowerPoint deck, or you're doing more?
Yeah, usually it's a PowerPoint deck, and then I wouldn't have my avatar on there because I didn't want to distract from what was on there. But I would just keep it minimal, and then I would do my my voiceover with it, and then just use the present record in Canva. But I love this idea because then you can just have the PowerPoint, like you said, and then just upload it right there. Yeah,
and if it changes, all you do is replace the slide and change the voiceover if you need to change the script. So I would love for you to try it too.
Yeah, I would love to do that.
We'd give you a license to play around with it for sure.
That'd be fun. Yeah. And then when that new feature comes out next month, I'd love to test it out and everything. Yeah, absolutely. That'd be great. Because I'm sure I can find some ways to use it. I'm sure. Yeah, that'd be great. I would love that because there's other tools out there, but it's always good to experiment and see, what else is out there. And it sounds like you really thought long and hard, you and your co-founders, thought long and hard about this experience for the users and then how it would help with learning down the road. So I love that. Yeah, definitely. Yes. And one concern, and I'm sure you've heard it from educators, is that AI video can feel generic, right? Or inaccessible. So how do you advise teams to improve on clarity, accessibility, and quality? Things like captions and pacing and voiceover. So videos work for the real learners, not just marketing content.
Yeah. So keeping them short, like as we were talking about, 3 to 4 minutes long, keeping them authentic. That's what that repurposing content really helps. Like if you have your slides, use those. If you have your content, use that as much as possible. Right. So it's not generic marketing content. For accessibility, making sure you add captions. We have that as a default feature in our product. Add captions, add a voiceover. Mm-hmm. And use a good voice, ideally your own voice that you clone. But there's so I think like those are the things, and keeping scenes short, so that keeps the engagement level high for users. The same best practices we talked about kind of apply here too. It's like, okay, we're trying to keep the material more engaging.
Right, exactly. It's like like it said, there's this one saying about PowerPoint, because you don't want to overload too much text on the slides, right? And you don't want to have the image not relate. That follows Mayer's multimedia design principles. And so, but I can't forget death by PowerPoint, right? That's what they call it. So the same thing with videos. We don't want to have these videos that are just so boring. And then people click away, a couple minutes later and they don't want to engage with it. And it just leaves a bad experience for them. And then they're like, I don't want to watch any more of these. So that's important.
That's why the short thing is important. I mean, so it's really hard to communicate dense topics without, there's some slides and other material, and finding alternative ways can take too much effort.
Right.
So you have to find the right balance, and we're working on technologies, AI technologies that can actually create very nice visualizations beyond what's in the PowerPoint. So we might be able to take your slide itself and make it more visual, or even have like animations automatically added in the slide. So some of that we already have in the product. Others are things that we're working on. So we're constantly trying to improve that experience.
Wow, I like that. I like being able to add the animations, because it's something you often don't think of when you're creating a PowerPoint. It's kind of one of those things that's it's an afterthought sometimes. And then you're like, oh yeah, I guess I should add some animation to it. So it's not just static images, but brings it to life a little bit more. So I like that. Great. I love that. Well, I'm excited to test it out, check it out. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And I'd love your feedback. We'd all love your feedback on this.
Great. I love it. So I wanted to do a quick bonus question. If you had to give instructional designers a Pictory power move, as I like to call it, what's one underused feature or approach that can help them repurpose content into multiple learning assets efficiently?
I think what we've been talking about, like PowerPoint to video, that's the power
that's
move.
The one.
For instructional designers. That's like the solid use case there. And it's super easy to use, and it's just very easy to convert that into a valuable asset.
Great. I love that. Yeah, there's nothing better than taking PowerPoint you did years ago and then giving it fresh new life, right? And giving it some animation and some different ways for the learners to engage with it as well. I love that. Yeah, because I have some from years and years ago that I could probably be like, maybe I can redo this because it maybe is a video, like a devotional or something. And, maybe I can revisit some of those and see if I can give it fresh life and give it something different. Yeah, because things have changed in 5 years.
Yes, that's for sure. Yes.
They have improved a lot, definitely. Yeah. So the final question I wanted to do as we wrap up is, if listeners remember just one thing from our conversation today, Vikram, what's the most important mindset shift you want educators and L&D teams that are doing training to make when adopting AI for video creation?
I think repurposing content. You don't always need to create things from scratch. You already have so much content. But from your SMEs, they're sending you so much content from, you've probably already created content. Repurpose it in different ways, more engaging ways, and keep it short. I think that those are two key takeaways. I think we already talked about the importance of keeping it short, but repurposing is the mind shift that I would love for folks to adapt.
Absolutely. Right. Yeah. I'm definitely thinking about my announcements that I do in my classes each week. And maybe what I can do is take that and then repurpose it and give them short videos that can just give them that. Because in the first week of my classes, I have the announcement the first week, and rather than making it really lengthy and long, I actually made it a Genially. And so it's an interactive Genially, but I'm like, maybe I could kind of combine a little bit of that, still have the interactivity, but then give it some different kind of interactivity as well with the video. Yeah, nice. I like that. Yeah, so it's always good when you can think of different ways and repurposing it. I like that. That's great. I love that. So Vikram, thank you again for being here and for sharing these practical, grounded insights about AI video creation that my listeners can apply right away, because I think it's going to be so important for them to have that as well. So that's really great. I love it. So for anyone who wants to keep learning from you, what's the best place to follow you or connect?
I am a LinkedIn junkie.
I am too.
Yeah. So find me on LinkedIn. I'll connect with you, Jackie, so people can kind of trace you.
Yes, exactly. I'll make sure we're connected. Definitely.
I'm on LinkedIn all the time, and I'm posting there all the time as well.
Great. It's a great place to connect with professionals. And it seems like the only place where you can really get that true knowledge sharing across the board, whereas with other social media, it's, I don't know. And it's not as good as LinkedIn. So I like it. Yeah, exactly. That's great. I know I have people connecting with me all the time that are in the field, and educators and instructional designers. So it's really great to get to connect with people all around the world and be able to share that and have that sense of community that you don't get anywhere else. So I love that. Great.
Super. Yes.
Love it. And I'll make sure to share the website link as well to Pictory. Is it Pictory.io, right?
AI. Pictory.ai.
Oh, AI. Oh my goodness. I don't know why I said that. Pictory.ai. Yeah. Yes, I'll make sure to share that.
Pictory.com, Pictory.ai, any of them will work. Yes.
Okay. It all leads back to the same website. Yeah. I love that. Great. Wonderful. Well, thank you, Vikram, again. I appreciate it. And I look forward to having you back on the show. We can maybe dig into some other things. If you think of something, feel free to reach out and we can have a deeper conversation about some other things too.
Absolutely, Jackie. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. It's such a fun conversation.
Yes, absolutely. I'm glad we connected, and we'll stay in touch for sure on LinkedIn. Thank you for taking some time to listen to this podcast episode today. Your support means the world to me. If you'd like to help keep the podcast going, you can share it with a friend or colleague, leave a heartfelt review, or offer a monetary contribution. Every act of support, big or small, makes a difference, and I'm truly thankful for you.